Welcome back. I'm here today with Tim Draper. Tim is the founder of Draper Fisher Jurvetson, founding partner of Draper Fisher Jurvetson. He's the headmaster at Draper University. He is also a founder or creator of viral marketing, and he's also a proponent of the 6 Californias. Tim, welcome to today's show.
Great, thanks for having me.
Tim, you got quite a bit going on in your life, but I'd like to rewind a little bit and found out how you started out and how you built this place that you're at today.
I sold apples as a kid,
Okay.
and I sold oysters, and so I always had a little bit of an entrepreneurial streak in me. But then when I got out of business school, I realized that entrepreneurs, there were lots of entrepreneurs out there and they had lots of interesting ideas, and I wanted them all to be successful. And that was where I ended up being in the venture capital business. Of course, my father and my grandfather were also both venture capitalists. So it was really the last thing I wanted to do. And so I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I realized that there were just too many, I had too many ideas, there were too many interesting ideas out there, and I really wanted to support those entrepreneurs as I went forward. And so I got started, and I got started with a small business investment company loan. I was able to borrow $6 million, and I was able to put that into a bunch of small businesses. And after 3 years, it looked like I had pretty much lost all the money. But then after 4 years, it went from me being on the dirt list of the SBA to being, they have my poster on their wall, my face posted on their wall as Venture Capitalist of the Year, because a number of companies then went public. So it's interesting how you get there. There are a lot of fits and starts along the way, and that was how I got started.
You built Draper Fisher Jurvetson into, a very large empire, a worldwide network. In fact, several polls are rated as #1 in the world for doing the most deals and such. When did you know, though, that you were on your way to feeling the success of the venture industry? Was there a particular company?
Well, I'm still getting there.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm on my way yet. Venture capital is very much you're a hero for a while, and then you're a goat for a while, and then you're a hero for a while, and you're a goat for a while. We've had times when we were really on the top of the game, when Skype and Baidu came out, and that was really because we were willing to venture out beyond just the Silicon Valley or even beyond America to go look for companies. And we were really among the first, if not the first, Silicon Valley venture capitalists to do that. And by being first, we were able to find really, really interesting companies in other parts of the world. And I think that made a big difference. There have been times here in the U.S. for the last 10 years, it's been a desert for liquidity. We've funded a lot of companies that have built great value, but they have not become public or liquid or whatever. And now it seems as though things are picking up again. So every 14 years or something, there's a new boom in the tech world, and I think we got one coming. And I think that all the hard work we did in the meantime is going to really pay off.
Tim, they often refer to you as the risk master.
Now that's funny, because that's a term I use for the entrepreneur. The risk master was a song I wrote for entrepreneurs. I had a great opportunity. There was a superstar rock star who doesn't want to be named, who wrote the song for me. And the deal was I write the lyrics and he writes the song. And I wrote these lyrics, and I thought, well, if I'm going to write a song, it's going to be a great song. It should really be about entrepreneurs and all the great things they do and all the struggles they go through, and then what they come out with at the other end. And so the Riskmaster term is really because I'm always singing the song, but I'm singing it to entrepreneurs.
So I'm visiting here today with Tim Draper. Tim is the founding partner, one of the founding partners of Draper Fisher Jurvetson, involved in Draper University and founder of Viral Marketing. Tim, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
I love fishing, with my family.
I think it would be easier to use a net.
It was so much fun.
The times when we are together, it makes it all the more worth it.
Having Dad teach them how to cast a fly rod, and
as long as we're doing stuff together, we're having fun.
Some people see a father and a son fishing together, while others see a succession plan.
Welcome back. I'm here today with Tim Draper. Tim, before the break, we're talking about your history getting into the venture capital, but I want to turn the page, and a new passion that you're working on is the master at Draper University. So first of all, in concept, what is Draper University?
I've had this long career in venture capital, and we've been able to fund a lot of great companies, and I've gotten to understand what it is to be an entrepreneur. And I realized that that's a kind of training that is really not taught in schools. And after 2008, the economy crashing, I felt like, well, we need heroes. We need more heroes. And so I created something called Draper University of Heroes. It's a school like no other school, and it's not for everyone. It's really for those people with a real spark who really want to change something, or they see something in the future that either needs to be disrupted or needs to change or whatever, and they have to have it in their heart to be able to do that. They have to be able to overcome all the high risk, the embarrassment, all that goes on in the emotions of an entrepreneur, as well as what an entrepreneur needs to know. And I thought, well, that's something I can actually do. I can actually create a school where they live there. It has to be immersive for 8 weeks, and we can teach in a way that no other school can teach. Where other schools teach history, we teach future. Where other schools basically most of the learning's by either reading or listening. Ours is more by doing. We have survival training, for instance, and they build things, they build various things, and at the end they do presentations to a panel of venture capitalists on their business. It's a very interesting, unique school. The students they say it's transformative. They say we've got a process. We put them through a process, and by the end they are really transformed. And rather than having professors, we have a few. We mostly have speakers. We have about 50 speakers, and they all do some extraordinary things for the students. Now, what's interesting is our online school seems to be equally successful. So Draper University Online can be for those students who can't take 8 weeks and live at a school and live and breathe entrepreneurship at the school, but they want to learn all the same concepts, and they want to do the things that we do, and they want to be transformed into entrepreneurs. And this is working out incredibly well. We're very happy with our results. It's getting harder and harder to get in because we only take about 40 or 50 students in our boarding school, but for those who it doesn't work for, we do have the online school for a lot of them.
Do the students apply, or are they invited here?
The students apply. We do invite some. We hunt them down, but that's very rare. Most of them apply. Our application is a very different kind of application. It's why were you put on this earth? It's draw me a picture, write me a song, make me a movie, whatever. It's very different from an application you might get from a Stanford or whatever. Turns out about 20% of our students come from Stanford. And about 60% come from international.
Yeah, so for the aspiring entrepreneur, the message there is, if you're going to come, be creative and be prepared.
You also have to have it bursting out of your heart and your soul. You have to really be saying that I have a change I really want to make in the world. I have a desire to do something extraordinary in the world. And I think that is more what the fanning we do of the flames is that desire to create something extraordinary.
I'm visiting here today with Tim Draper. We've been talking about Draper University, and Tim, we need to take a quick break, and after we get back, I want to talk about the 6 Californias.
Okay, terrific.
He's the world's most trustworthy man. Tax filing deadlines are scheduled around his vacation calendar. The IRS agent who audited his client apologized.
I don't always advise people on their taxes, but when I do, I save them every penny legally possible.
GROCO CPAs and Advisors.
Come to GROCO and stay wealthy, my friend.
Welcome back. I'm visiting here today with Tim Draper. Tim is founding partner of Draper Fisher Jurvetson, and we're talking about Draper University before the break. But Tim, I want to switch over to a current topic that you've been making a lot of headlines in the news for, and about California. So, what exactly is the vision here?
Well, I grew up in California, and I love it here. And it's beautiful weather, and my friends are here, my family's here, and I was the beneficiary of the best education system in the country. California was number one when I went through my schooling, so I naturally brought my children to this. I ended up taking them to the exact same school I went to, and I was shocked. Not only was the school kind of barren, but the teachers were all the same teachers I had. There hadn't been any refresh. So I got involved in education, and I eventually became a member of the State Board of Education in California. And then I realized that we have a real problem in that that the people who are deciding these things for our education are living in an ivory tower and very separated from the schools and the children that are actually being educated. And that disconnect is so strong that our education system has gone from first to 46th in the last 40 years. So we have a real serious problem in education. But it turns out we have a serious problem in all government for the same reason. It's become more centralized. And we've become complacent as people, as citizens of a democracy. We've allowed this to happen, where our government is somehow separated from us. And here in California, we have this horrible situation where now we have the worst run state in the country, and they're pushing jobs away. And so not only are we losing on education, we're losing jobs. Occidental Petroleum just sent 8,000 jobs to Texas, and Tesla was started here in California. It's a great factory, everything's going great, and they decided to move their battery plant to one of 5 states, none of which is California. And so, and down in LA, they've lost Hollywood is losing out to Louisiana and North Carolina and other states that are giving incentives to go make their movies and TVs there. So we're losing jobs, and we're losing them because we have this centralized California. California needs to be we need to create 6 new states. It does a lot for us. One is our representative government becomes more a part of us, and we can take a real role in starting these new states and getting them going, and getting people excited about how those states could be run, how much better they could be run. And so many examples of that where, I mean, we could have electronic voting, we could have electronic signatures, we could have, there are so many things that we can do by moving a state into the next century. But each of these regions in California has very different interests. And so if you're in Hollywood, your interests are, let's get those movies back into Hollywood. If you're in the Silicon Valley, it's like, let's have a government that really understands technology. Let's move that ahead. If you're in the Central Valley, let's have a government that really understands how water rights work or how water should move. Or, even better, let's start attracting some manufacturing jobs here. And that economy could really take off. So it's a new way of thinking. For some people, there's this real resistance to any kind of a change, but we really need to take back our democracy. We really need to feel close to our state governments. And California is just too big. We've had a lot of good people managing California, but it's at this point unmanageable. And it's proven out. We're the worst managed state in the union. And the other big states are also down there. The other big states are badly run too.
So implementation of this, does it happen at the polls? The citizens of California vote the...
Yeah, what happens is first we need to get 5% of the voters to sign a petition. And that's about 1 million signatures.
And where do they find that petition?
And they find that petition out by their grocery store or whatever. We have a bunch of people out there, many volunteers, and some are paid, but they're out there asking for signatures and bringing them in. And we need to get 1 million by May. After that, we will be put on the ballot either for November of 2014 or November of 2016. And then Californians can vote. I mean, once I make sure this gets onto the ballot, I want discussions in every Californian home and every Californian neighborhood to decide what kind of a state they want. I want them starting to think about their state, and in making it so those states compete for us. We want those states to be great states, and if you're in a state that's not a great state, the great thing about 6 Californias is you can move to a place 40 minutes away, and you can be with a different state.
Tim, if somebody wants to get a petition and start getting people to sign up, where would they find that? Who do they contact?
Well, they can contact our campaign. It's info at 6California. I mean, sorry, it's at 6Californias.info.
Is it spelled out SIX or is it?
SIXCalifornias.info. www.sixcalifornias.info. And then that's where our website is, and that's where the information is being distributed. Still, to get to a petition, you have to look around.
Yeah.
You can contact us, and we'll make sure that you get a petition. But we really do need those signed, and so that Californians have a chance to vote on something that really could change things. And then once it's voted in, California will, the various counties will be able to self-organize into states, and then the U.S. government will be able to decide when they allow the 6 states, and that could be at any time, really. It probably will be a political issue, and one party or the other will feel that will benefit them, and then it'll be voted in.
I'm visiting here today with Tim Draper. We've been talking about the 6 Californias. We need to take a quick break, Tim, and after we get back, I want to talk about the vision for the future.
With current laws, we have left our children an enormous financial burden. Even though they may be too young to understand it. At GrowCo, we care about you and the ones you love, and the quality of your and their lives. Call us today to see how we can help. 877-CPA-2006.
Helping you along the way.
I'm visiting here today with Tim Draper. He's the co-founding partner of Draper Fisher Jurvetson, and we've been talking about the venture capital world, Draper University, 6 Californias. But Tim, I want to jump into this last segment and talking about disruptive technology for the future. How do you stay ahead of the game?
So the future is always somewhat uncertain. And I think what's happened in our world, particularly here in the Silicon Valley, is that change is happening faster and faster and faster. And we need to be ready for it. In fact, sometimes it's better to be ahead of it. I think that there a lot of changes happen in a lot of different industries. And for instance, the music industry has been completely changed by the beginning of Napster and Kazaa and various other, and now kind of moved into iTunes and Spotify. Many other industries have been changed by the internet. The telecommunications business is completely different. I think that there are other industries that have not yet really been changed by the internet that will be. And so I think moving forward, there will be major changes in medicine. There will be major changes in banking. There'll be major changes in the investment banking and venture capital world. I think those businesses are being changed as we speak. Some of your old profession, the accounting profession, will probably be changed. And new technologies will come and change those. And we're always looking for industries that are getting a little bit set in their ways, where there's a startup and a new technology that are coming together that might make a big change. And for all of those money-related industries, I think Bitcoin and maybe some other currencies like Bitcoin will spur the changes in a lot of those industries. So I'm very excited about what's going on with Bitcoin. I'm also excited about some changes that might happen in manufacturing because of 3D printing, or some changes that are happening in surveillance because of microsatellites and drones. I think we're going to have some major changes in education because of MOOCs and because of Draper University Online. And I think that government is going to take on a new thought process. I think we're going from where bad governments are being overthrown by Twitter and Facebook, and good governments are being encouraged, and populations are moving toward countries with good governments as we become more mobile. That the governments have to go into a sales mode rather than a buyer's mode, and they have to attract the money and the entrepreneurs and the businesses of the world. They have to attract venture capital, and so they become competitive. So my belief is that governments will need to compete for us. And rather than us being slaves to a government, it needs to go the other way. And I think 6 Californias is an example of how we can encourage that, get ahead of that in California. So I think that we're in a really interesting, transformative time. We're so lucky to be alive during this time because technology is changing everything. Oh boy, that crowdsourcing is making all of our lives so wonderful. I mean, I can push a button and 2 minutes later a cab shows up and takes me somewhere. I push another button and my dinner arrives. So there's some extraordinary things happening that are making our lives so much better, so much easier. And I'm just, as a venture capitalist, I'm looking for industries that are going to be transformed by some of these new technologies.
I've been visiting here today with Tim Draper. Tim is a founding member of Draper Fisher Jurvetson. We've been talking about Draper University, viral marketing, proponent of 6 Californias. And Tim, it's been a wonderful having you on the show today.
Good.
So,
it's been a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you.